Hello everybody, welcome to the video. This is a summary of In the Theater, a poem written by Daniel Abse. It is one of the poems for the 2019-2020 academic decathlon year. It's listed under our literature packet, and today I'm going to go ahead and do a quick summary for you guys so you don't have to read all over it. Right. So before we start the poem, it's important to look at this quote um, given by Wilfred Apps. It's listed in the preface for the poem, so technically it is a part of it. But what this highlights over here is that this is Wilfred Apps, his brother, in the surgery room helping out instead of Daniel Apps. The way that you want to look at the story is that Daniel is the Wilfred is the one in the room telling the story to Daniel. Daniel is the poet. He is just interpreting it and, making it all fancy for you to read in a poem. But I'll give you a few seconds to go ahead and look over that. Alrighty, so our first stanza here. I'll give you a few seconds to go ahead and look over this, and then we'll get started. Okay, so first off, let's look at these three lines over here. Sister saying, soon you'll be back in the ward. Sister thinking, only two more on the list. The patient saying, thank you, I feel fine. So Apps goes ahead and starts off he starts off these sentences in order to put you in the perspective of the way that it's going. Um, Obviously, it was told different to Daniel, but creative imagination. So he uses similar sentence structure, or line structure, I guess you could say, starting off with these. And then you can see over here he moves on with repetition. He wants you to sort of break off with these. And look at this. Small voices, small lies, nothing untoward. Though soon he would blink again and again. There you go. It's a sort of repetition that you're getting in this first line. And at the last part over here, I didn't underline, but you want to look at, because of the fingers of Lambert Rogers, which is the surgeon, rash is a blind man's inside his soft brain. You're looking at, this is the imagery that Apps goes ahead and provides. It's kind of gory, but I mean, what did you expect with the topic that we have this year? Okay, second stanza. I'll give you a few seconds to go ahead and look over that. Okay, so as you can see, I didn't underline anything here, but I still have content to provide to you guys. So the way that we can look at the second stanza is that he goes ahead and adds the interestingness to it, I guess you can say. He starts off, if items of horror can make a man laugh, then laugh at this. And he breaks down the rest of the sentence into comma, 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 comma. 1 hour later, the growth still undiscovered, taking its own wild time. More brain mashed. It's this repetition of mashed because he wants you to understand the gruesomeness, I guess you could say that, of the surgery. And so he adds the medical perspective into it, a cisternal puncture and a neural cyst. And of course, Lambert Rogers is still fingering it. Yeah, so that's imagery for you. Third stanza. This is where it gets interesting. You have the ventriloquist voice that goes ahead and starts speaking. I'll leave you guys a few seconds to look over that really quickly. Okay, so leave my soul alone, leave my soul alone. The patient's dummy lips moving to that refrain, the patient's eyes too wide. We see that sort of fantasy aspect in the story, and it can remind you of Frankenstein, but remember, it's a creative imagination. I don't think that, he came to life. Oops. And so leave my soul alone again. And then what you want to look at is these, and the words began to blur and slow. Leave my soul alone. And it's sort of that, stereotypical, like, fall into death, I guess you could say. And he leaves us with this last line: in silence matched the silence under snow. And that's where we end the poem here. So, a couple of things, important things to know about Daniel Abse. That he was a physician and a poet. This is a picture of the beautiful man. He is Welsh. So you'll see, like, over here in line 1, he rhymes it, again and brain. Like, it doesn't really rhyme, but you have to use the context to understand that he is Welsh. So it's going to end up sounding like again and brain. It's kind of stupid, but just try to put yourself in that perspective. And so, poetry, physician. And so here's your summary of a summary. Basically everything that you need to take out of this. It's a perspective of Wilfred Abse, who is the dresser of the thing. Lambert Rogers, the guy fingering the brain, is the lead surgeon, and this is all performing in a theater. He uses detailed imagery and ironic rhyme to go ahead and describe you would picture the rhyme as like a happiness and whatever. But it's a gruesome imagery, and it is an imaginative interpretation on real events. So just don't go ahead and like put in the test that, oh yeah, he came back to life. It's not what happened. So that is the end of our presentation. I hope that you guys learned something from this, and I do hope this video is enough to go ahead and summarize it for you. So thank you.